Okay, and I am live. Let's see the sound. Okay, and I. Okay. Okay. It's working. So hi everyone, and welcome to another live stream. I'm Hisame, your host, and today I'm going to color page 99 of our comic book Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. They are in Cambridge, UK, at the end of the Dark Ages, so 1684. And the protagonist is visiting Isaac Newton, and he's got into a bit of trouble. And now I'm gonna pull out a older page so I have the colors for the characters. I'm using Clip Studio Paint. It's a great program for making comic books. Let's see here. What did I have the sidewalk colored as? Older page. There we go. I try my best to keep the continuity and to make everything as historically accurate as possible. The characters are gonna be coming that way. I'll just make all of these roofs here gray. I think that's how they were. For the most part. Some of them were red bricked roofs, though not always. But from what I've seen, buildings in Cambridge, and thank you Google Maps for existing, that's kind of how most of them look like back in the day. So I'm gonna color each of them. Okay, let's get the pen here so I get a solid color. And Erwin, who is half black, half white cat, but I don't see him in this page. There we go, having the other page. And he's doing his best to run. He's a bit of a fat cat, so lazy. Running is not his forte. So these are the stage hands. They suspect Niels stole something, so... Oh, hi there, Kizar, how are you? Can you hear me? Have you been? Oh, you've been good, fine. Awesome. Ah, my words. Sure, audio is fine. Good, 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 good. I'm always scared it's not working or something like that, and I've been talking to myself. Reminds me of that joke with, I talk to myself all the time, but I get worried when I start learning new things. So I will soon reach page 100. We're already at page 99. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to try and release 2 pages at the same time as an event. And I was thinking of doing something else, but I really haven't had much inspiration or time, so uh, I think I'm just gonna release 2 pages to commemorate the event. 100 pages, and soon chapter 4 will end. I had written 5 chapters, but I had to split one into two, so the end comic is gonna be 6 chapters long, and 4 of those are pretty much done. And I got 2 more chapters till the adventure ends. So there's gonna be plenty of more time for the characters to get into trouble. Like this chase scene here is not gonna be the last. Got 2 more chapters, that's 50 more pages at least. So what have you been up to? Any adventures of your own? P5 from I smell a child. And his hair. Usually eyebrows are darker, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. The famous British teeth. Um, I'm so glad we have dentists nowadays. I just visited one recently. Not cheap, definitely. I'm coloring the other character. Gonna turn the guy off. I needed names that characters could shout at each other, and usually I don't have a problem finding names because usually I have the names already set up. But for these two guys, I completely forgot to think up of names for them. So it was kind of a bit of a rush to try and find a proper name for them that would characterize them. And for the big guy, I was kind of thinking of, like truck drivers or something like that. Not very fancy name, but has to be kind of macho. And I kept remembering the name Earl from, I can't remember which cartoon, but it was like a truck driver named Earl. And I googled that name to see what was the origin. Apparently, it comes from the word Jarl, which means king in some old Anglo-Saxon Celtic language. Yeah, and that was the issue, because it was when you, in a time when you still had earls, because we are in UK 1684, so you have earls. It would have been really weird for you to have that name at the time, I imagine. I can see once nobility kind of started falling out of favor with the French revolutions and all of that, people would start naming their kids Earl, especially in America, where they weren't fond of the British. Um, but the time of our story, it seemed kind of a weird name to give. So, in the end, I gave him the name Braun, because it seemed like that kind of name. Plus, I have to admit that I like Braun from Game of Thrones. Like, he's that kind of character, and I thought the name would fit in the world. And also, funny thing, the other character, the young guy, I named him Wilbur because they have to shout at each other by name. So I gave him the name Wilbur, which sounds really wimpy nowadays, but apparently it was a very macho name to have at the time, because it means wild boar in some old Anglo-Saxon version. So I thought that was really funny to find out, because I've heard this name Wilbur before in other Hollywood films, and was always portrayed as, a wimpy, silly name, but now that I had to Google it, I don't know, my perception, Wilbur, that it sounds wimpy, and I think it's because in Hollywood they've whenever they portrayed anybody with the name Norman or Wilbur or something like that, it was like a wimpy character. So, Book of Unwritten Tales. Who was Wilbur? The protagonist? Oh, Willie Burr. So his name was Wilbur, and they were calling him Willie Burr. Ah, yeah. I remember now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, I don't know. Have you seen the the video game, or have you played Book of Unwritten Tales? It's a really fun video game. I loved it. And there's a magical dwarf, or what was he? Hobbit, or what? He was something short. And his name was Wilbur, but everybody called him Willie Burr. Had to sneeze. Sorry. I cut off the sound. Hope it didn't. You guys didn't hear it. Oh, you found the clip? You can put it in the chat. I can hear the dialogue. Many names with noble origins became average Joe names. Yeah, John, Tom, Dick, and Harry. Thomas, Richard, Harry. Oh, from Emperor. What? Vasila? Isn't it a Slavic name? Basil? Basil was a Roman emperor. Hmm. Ah. Basilica. Oh my god. So I had yeah, Basileus, who's the expert, not me. I could have sworn it was like a Russian name, but thank you for telling me otherwise. Oh, so I had a colleague at school. His family name was Vasile, and his mom's name was Vasilika. And when she married his dad, she became Vasilika Vasile. Oh, yeah, tough luck. Because we asked him, like, what's your mom's name if your family name is Vasile? And her name was Vasilika before she married. And he confirmed that, like, yeah, she turned her name into Vasilika Vasila. Yeah. Yeah, but they're rare. Like, how many Andrea, Andre? Yeah. Now I'm kind of curious in what century Basileus was, because I don't remember this emperor. at all. Was he after Caesar? Because then you had emperors. După sau înainte? Ah, well, so was he still considered a Roman emperor? Oh. Ah, okay. Yeah, for those that didn't hear, he was Greek Macedonian, and he was in Byzantium, sorry. June, make up your mind. He has long pants now. Okay, so I'm gonna have to edit the line art here a bit. Oh, of course there's more of them. Oh, it became like a Caesar thing? But I can't remember. So Caesar was a noun. It was never a name, right? Yeah, it wasn't like his middle name. It was some kind of title, right? Really? So like the word John would become synonymous with king? That is so weird. Do you think there was ever like some Celtic guy named King and he became a king and so the title became... well, that was after. Come on. BB King was that. What's BB King? It's a rapper? I don't know what BB King is. I can't see that far. Guitar player? I can't see who's playing. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Huh? A true king, yes. Did his name after him, the emperors took it as a title. That is such a strange situation. Oh, yeah, okay, I know him. I just didn't know his name. Okay. I'm sorry. My husband's saying there can only be one king and BB is his name. Were you quoting Game of Thrones? Okay. Ah. Oh, there can only be one God. That's the... Is that from the Bible? I don't know. Is it a Monty from Monty Python? No? It is from the Bible? You're quoting scripture at me? No, you're laughing. You're joking. Where is this from, this sentence? Because in Game of Thrones you have, I know no king but the king in the north whose name is Stark. So, it's not the same thing. And I'm not sure if it's in the Bible. You keep telling me to look, but I'm telling you I don't have my glasses. I can't see that far. I can see the computer screen and that's about it.
Corinthians 8:6. But we know that there is only one God, the Father, who created everything and we live for Him. And there is only one Lord, Jesus Christ, through whom God made everything and through whom we may be given way. We have been given life.
So where's the I'm lost.
There can only be one king. BB is his name.
The irony. Okay, so Lord Caesar has told me in the YouTube chat. Apparently, king comes from some Proto-Germanic word that basically means someone. Oh, the irony indeed. Isn't language fun? Like you know the word in Romanian peach, when you say to that a small child is like, oh look at that, uite-te la piciul ăla sau copil mic, peach. Um, apparently in kinder. Apparently in Hungarian, I was talking to a Hungarian friend last night, and she told me that the word peach in Hungarian just means little. So you can call a chair peach, or a sandwich, or a child, or like a cat. You can call it peach.
Not a short person, that's offensive.
I don't know about that. And we tried to figure out where the word peach comes from, and apparently it's a Turkish word, and it means something else in Turkish, and it's not good. Shh. Sometimes kids watch my show, don't say that word. My, well, show, my stream. Yeah, but I'm not saying what happens in Game of Thrones. At least I try to avoid giving spoilers of any kind. Yeah, we have many Turkish words, but I find it funny how it started in Turkish with one meaning and it ended up in Hungarian with a totally different meaning. It really has nothing to do with the original much. Okay, so this has a red roof, and just look at this pretty house. I'm not sure if it's from the 17th century, but it's pretty, so I'm gonna put it in, and hopefully it'll be okay. Because I want some color. Okay, so the thing on top is green. And I don't know if they had copper roofs in 17th century. I kind of doubt it. Might be something new. I'll just... It kind of looks Victorian the more I look at it, so it might not be from that century. Oops. Because it's very ornate. Peach is so savage in Turkish, yeah. Like, I didn't expect that. This friend of mine I'm telling you about, she's a writer, so we kind of talk about writer stuff, and sometimes we just come across these weird situations. Also, all three of these languages are pretty close to each other, so you can find all kinds of interesting influences you didn't think were possible. But like it kind of seems like the transition medium was Romanian, because in Romanian, I mean, you can see it connecting to both meanings in a way, but it's kind of like the telephone game. Like the farther it got, the more different the name, the meaning. Okay, and this one dark as well. Um, you didn't really have brick buildings in England at that time. But I'm thinking, maybe it was uh, a Dutch salesman. He like settled in Cambridge to sell cookies or something. I don't know. Like I'm kind of trying to justify this building to myself. I don't think anybody will pay attention and kind of complain about it, but I will know. I try to find out all of these buildings if they're correct. Um, Not easy. And it's a lot better for UK, like a lot of things survived and were documented and refurbished for quite a long time ago in the past. Hey, we have time travel in this story. I guess I could um, get out of this situation by saying it's an alternative universe, like in Marvel comics, where they make a mistake, so they just pull out something out of their behind to kind of justify what was going on. And like, it's a parallel universe, anything can happen. You can have a Dutch settler that came earlier to the UK and somehow he was allowed, even though they really didn't get along at the time, historically speaking, and somehow he started a shop to sell cookies or something. Um, like, when was the Duke of Orange? The guy, he had claim to the southern part of England. I don't know, but like 20 years before our protagonists get to the UK, you had the that war with Scotland and England, and then they married and signed the peace pact and live happily ever after until 2020 when Scotland's gonna leave the UK. Oh. Oh wait, those are arches and they're white inside? Okay, so it's not windows? It's a weird building. I keep changing the color of this, but I really don't know what to say. Kind of looks better with dark on top. Although how the sun is coming, but I'm gonna put the shade later. There, that looks better. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have dark frames and then windows. Just gonna make everything brown. And I'll add the windows later. So this other building here next to it is also very pretty. And it did not exist, I think. Back in the 17th century, there was a friar's monastery type of thing, and I couldn't find any information on it. So I just kind of left this building because it's pretty. And if anybody ever finds out how the building before it looked, I only have, let's see, one panel. I have to change the building, so I tried to make these things historically accurate, um, but also to be easy to edit in case I find out I did a mistake. Like for the guards as well, they didn't exactly have police at the time. You had police in that time, in that decade and century in Paris. So apparently they were kind of the first ones to have police and call it police. But before that, you had like town guards that were ex-soldiers, and considering a very long war had ended 20 years before, I think you would have like a lot of old soldiers going around being guardsmen or something. Not sure how it worked. And I kind of tried and find some clothing for them that looked okay, and they had like these pole arms they used. Guess I can make it white. This house is every which color. So brown frame, then white frame. It's took a lot of artistic liberties here. Yeah, it's not my best building, but it's, you know, it's for one panel and kind of didn't want to spend eternity on drawing it. I do hope for book 2 to find someone to help me with the backgrounds, someone that understands perspective. Hopefully we'll be able to make better backgrounds for you guys, because book 2 I plan to take the characters on the voyages of Huang He, the admiral, Chinese admiral, and he like took one big awesome trip around the Indian Ocean, and there's just so many temples and cities and capitals there that I would really like to show off the architecture. And if I want to still be able to put one page per week, I'm gonna need somebody else to do the buildings, because it's just gonna take way too long. Oops. I wanted to turn the building, so it's gonna be yellow with yellow and more yellow. And the light is coming from, who knows? I will have to go up. Where's the north? Let's see. On Google Maps, is the red triangle north?
Generally,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay, so north is that way, then I have to turn around.
North to la right.
No, in Cambridge, because I need to draw the shadows. It's always such a hassle, because I have to figure out at the time of the day the characters are in and which way is east and west. Okay, so let me think. So if north is that way, then east is that way. They're about noon. It should be from above.
Should have
Uh, I wish it wasn't so cloudy. Points to north at noon? Okay. I didn't know that. Thank you. Because it's not clear to me where the light is coming from, because it just rained. It's also afternoon in this comic here, and that screenshot. Once we make a video game out of this, it will be so much easier, because the computer is gonna figure this stuff out. Ah. hi Kirani. How are you? Thanks for coming by. I'm trying to figure out the shadows. Screenshot saved from the other night. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Taking a 2-day vacation. Okay. I would like a vacation too. I had one, but you know, I stayed at home. It wasn't like a real vacation. Got all local prizes distributed. Hope we can afford digital prizes next year. Yeah, that would be nice. Like Humble Bundle gives good stuff at low prices, and like giving game what do you call them, of codes, like I think that would be easy, and most people would receive them well. Even just gift cards. Yeah, gift cards. I generally don't like gift cards. But if it's for something good, yeah, I can see it being a fun gift. If it's for Steam or something like that. What's the building in the back? It continues. This thing. Okay. The roof is brown. Everything's brown. When in doubt, go with brown. If we are getting sponsorship from our local shops, I don't see why it wouldn't be possible to get some sponsors from other places. Oh, that would be really cool. Hope you get that. It would be a lot more exciting. And like I think some of them might like the promotional aspect of it. That looks like green or blue. You can't tell. Let's see, corn exchange building. I've spent so much time online looking at Cambridge that I think I can be a tour guide. It's black. It's neither brown nor blue. Green or blue. It's black. It is a pretty building. I like it. It's not really correctly drawn. Oh well. Yep, and my husband is with me today, and I think Kezar's still online. We were talking about naming conventions and different languages. Get more chances crossway for our family audience. Oh yeah. I'm glad it's picking up. Super excited. You said the website is gonna come online soon. I don't know, turn that black like that. Too many projects, yeah, for sure. I try and keep it real to kind of keep it under control. Um, Try and work at one project at a time. Yeah, I like my main focus is Niels, and if I can get anything done aside from Niels, then it's a win for me. Oh, nice. I'll make that window brown because it's weird. Like it, look, like the door frame is brown, but the windows are white, and you have windows that are white in other buildings. Like it's an old city, and every building is uneven and asymmetrical, and like not assorted. Like some window frames are white and others are not. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wish I could do more on the Stardew Valley stuff, but I just have to focus on Niels. I want to finish it in a reasonable amount of time. I've been working on it for over 2 years, and I'm kind of determined to to finish it, to see it through. Thank you. Yeah, I have so many big ideas for book 2 on how to increase the quality, but that's just gonna take up so much more time to make one page per week. So kind of trying to figure out how I can do it. Interns from the funification side from high school. Oh, that is so nice. Yeah, because I know a lot of them want to learn stuff, and if it is as kind of isolated as you say, because it's not a big city, then that will be a good opportunity for them, because I don't see where else they can like go and get the classes. Yeah, actually, on that note, would you mind if we did a Q&A with you some night you're free? Yeah, sure. Maybe we could play some Stardew Valley where we're at it. Yeah, we can totally do that. Is Monday night still Stardew Valley night for you guys? Or do you want to do it on another day? Because I don't know how your schedule is. You said you're going on a vacation for 2 days, so that would be another time? How much do you guys spend on making your comics, planning the pages, etc.? Yeah, we can make Monday Stardew Valley night. Okay, sure. So when you want to do it, let me know. Well, like give me a day's heads up or something, so. Oh yeah, social media is exhausting. Like I'm always so stressed. Did I miss a message? Did I answer correctly? Because I do get a lot of questions or comments in various places, and I also want to interact with other artists that I appreciate, and I want to show my support to them, and oh, too much. I am not a social person. It's exhausting for me to do this stuff. This like basic courtesy, and it's hard for me. Have gone laggy for me. Sorry, I didn't reply to any of your questions. Tries to reload. Okay. But I can write them in the chat. Let me know if your stream is better now. Much better? Awesome. Yeah, so I was asking, when do you wanna do this? Like this Monday or another Monday? Stream is much better, like it's almost 100% in sync with your typing and hitting enter. Oh, that is good internet. June has had terrible internet, and like we barely managed to get the pages done. So she's not gonna be joining our stream anytime soon. Unfortunately, her internet is awful. Good internet makes life better. It's so frustrating to get anything done without good internet. Sorry to hear about June. You think they'd have epic internet out her way? Well, she's on an island, so they need to pull a cable to her island and supply everybody with internet. So right off the bat, that's not gonna be great. Um, Also, Italy, like the US, has had internet for a long time, so their infrastructure is really old and really crappy. That's why Romania has such good internet compared to other countries, like because it had the infrastructure put recently, and it's fiber optics in a lot of places. They just straight up went from nothing to fiber optics. I suppose the sooner it works, the better I'll get this done. So whatever works for you this Monday works for me. Well, we can play tonight if you want. Like I'm free tonight. I don't think we're gonna go anywhere. We had our shopping done. The snowstorm is coming, so we should be blocked in anyway. Like a jump, yeah. We went shopping yesterday or the day before, something like that. 'Cause I think we're gonna have a snowstorm again, I'm not sure. Anyway, the car was frozen today. It did not thaw out at all. My husband wanted to go to work to finish something because he had exams for the kids. And he still has to correct papers and stuff like that, and whatever else he has to do as a professor. And he went to check the car and was like frozen solid. I'm like, nope, not going to work today. Well, today is Saturday, like he should have had the day off anyway, but it was just so much work. He didn't get it done. And I think he has to give them other exams as well. My sister's going for exams on the other continent. The joys of being in the education system. It's exam season pretty much all the time. But at least my sister's gonna get vacation for Easter, so I might play some Stardew Valley with her. If she doesn't have too much homework to do. Best unless you just want to hang out and talk. I'm trying to pull together my forecast. My next 6 months before I get busy, sidetrack, full-time job. Yeah, we can hang out tonight. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna go anywhere or have to go anywhere. We're stuck inside. Watching how much work it involves. Thank you for the work you do. Yes, thank you to all the good teachers that actually do their job and don't show up drunk to work or other nonsense or gossip about their love life. Like, this is a big issue, I find, for a lot of kids. You know, they say they hate school, but there's often some big issues going on there because school should be interesting. And you should be able to learn something from school. Otherwise, what's the point of going? I agree, a lot of teachers are just there for the pay and aren't actually thinking about their impact. A lot of them, I don't know how it is for Canada, but in Romania, like, a lot of them weren't able to get a job in research or healthcare or whatever else they wanted to be. Whatever else they wanted to do with their lives, they weren't able to get the job they wanted, and they still need to work to pay the bills and stuff and survive. So they usually, how it happens, it's, oh, I know a relative who knows a relative, and like they can get you a job at a school. And they just come there, they're frustrated, they hate it, and some of them start to like teaching. Like, for example, I had a biology teacher. She just hated every second of the first year, and then like some of the students kind of grew on her, and she was like, this teaching is not so bad. And she was like actually one of the better teachers that actually showed up and taught the class. But others were just, drunk or on some drugs or something. Like, they weren't very reasonable, or like they're cuckoo bananas, some of them. Um, And they were the relative of a relative of someone important, so they were like, okay, we can't fire this one and get a better teacher, we're stuck with this crazy person. And kids, enjoy, have fun, try and make the best of your situation. Sometimes, like, their colleagues would have to cover for them. um, like, I remember we have like a was some kind of chemistry, I think she should have been teaching, or he, I don't even remember, it was such a long time ago. But they were not able to hold the exam, they didn't do the exam, so a teacher from another class um, taught made the exams for our class. And then we had like a teacher that was like totally different subject matter, it was like Romanian, giving us for the exams for chemistry, whatever it was, or math, I don't remember. So you had like another teacher that actually taught the same subject, making the exams for their colleague who was like too lazy to bother to do their job. And then somebody else coming to, because they had to come out of their spare time to come and give us the papers and keep an eye on us that we don't cheat too much on the exam. um, and then give the papers to that person, the colleague who did the exams, and then correct them, and just basically had like other people pulling together to do the job of this person. And this happened in university as well, so it wasn't just like in high school or middle school or wherever. Yeah, it was an unfortunate situation. And if you don't like your job, um, you're not gonna make the kids like your job or what you're doing. Well, it's over now. I got the exams, I got my papers. Off to our tea party, I suppose. Oh, you have a tea party. That's cute. I should do a tea party with my husband. We both love tea, and we got some nice cookies. I need to keep trying to get better with Clip Studio Paint. Yeah, I kind of put the tutorials on pause because I saw you didn't have time to catch up. And I think it would be easier for you if I didn't make too many, because then we kind of start to get a bit confusing and too much information. So let me know when you catch up and I'll post some more. Yep, art time. Have fun, Kirani. Thanks for dropping by. My pleasure. I'm glad there was some help to you. Bye bye. Okay, so I got a few more panels. I need to take a little break. Okay, I am back. I've been postponing this panel because I forgot to ask June for her reference image and I don't remember it. Blue ribbon in his hair. And blue eyes? Yeah, blue eyes. I'm glad June kind of gave him his nose. It kind of goes up a bit so that they don't all look the same. Like, this is one of my issues with animes. Like, everybody tends to have the same face, and it's really hard to tell them apart. Aside from the hair color. So I've tried to kind of give them very distinct faces for a lot of these characters, even though they just show up in one panel that they don't all have the same face. Because I just always found that to be kind of confusing. This one here, the last one, I think like it's gonna be, oh, also, where did I decide they're gonna come from? The other side. Okay, so they're gonna be actually more like so. And this is really awesome in Clip Studio Paint. You can just do this. Select two layers and work on two layers at the same time. This is so helpful. I can't tell you guys how difficult it is when you don't have this. And this part here, I honestly want to make it a lot bigger because I want it to be kind of part of the theater. So the yellow roof of the theater is gonna go here. Although, no, I'm gonna have to just delete that part. Oh, no. I'm only gonna delete this line art here. Just color these blue. And it's gonna be a square, to be honest. Because that's how the roof is gonna go. And another feature I love about Clip Studio Paint is this indicator. It tells you where the line art is going. And let's see if I have an outside picture on hand. There we go. So they're gonna be running down that road. They came out of the back and then they run that way and then that way and then kind of go around in circles. It's not very clear, unfortunately, in the comic, but I kind of had to cut some panels out so that I would get like a reasonable uh, amount of time given to this, and that was, I have to remember, look in another panel. Let's see. So I got the green one here. No, that's on the other side. It was red. I think I'll have to like open a older page to look inside the file. That will help me remember. Like, it's not visible, but I'm not sure, and like might be one panel where it does show up, and I still want to keep it consistent. Okay, so it's yellow behind, and then I can put whatever color I want. Okay. So this one here would be, oh no, it would be kind of the red one, actually, because the red one is the one that goes here all the way to the end, actually. So there we go. We have the red one, and I'm gonna draw some lines there with white. I touched something and it gave me like a bleed of color, as you can see here. So I think it's when I colored the roof, like that might have done it. It must have clicked on something. So if I turn off the layer, you can see, yeah, that really bright yellow there. I guess I can do this to it. Should limit the bleed. But as you can see, it looks a lot better with a colored line art, and this is what I'm kind of aiming for book 2, to have colored line art. It will be less harsh than black. Okay, I'm gonna thicken these out because they look uneven. And I think I touched it again. No. Okay. The rest of the city like looks so dull compared to those bright colors, but you can't really put on the streets such really bright colors. It looks weird. At least to me anyway. I tried to make it pretty and colorful. Uh, the building should appear in one of the panels here. Okay. It's kind of a continuation of that building, of how they're going around. And it's 2.5 almost done here. Bright blue sky. I think maybe these buildings would have been like kind of going outside. Like I saw a lot of medieval buildings being that way, but it mostly seemed to be like a London issue with the zoning code. Like you couldn't build too close to the road. So like people try to find ways around that issue. And just steal away as much as they could. Prime city locations. So I'm gonna try and reflect that. Like inch away, like try and get some more room. Always kind of funny. Now let's see if I can actually see. Nah, like all my work is gonna be behind the character's head, so not worth really stressing out that much. And on the other side there should be like a yellow building because you have behind the fountain. um, Trying to find a suitable color for the roof. In the preview you can't really see the sides, but I think I did do it in one of the pages. Let me just look. Come on. You can do it, Windows. Good for you. I think it's when they were like buying from the merchants here somewhere. From the toy sales. Oh, okay, there it is. There's the panel. And I put some yellow bricks in the back. Yellow buildings. So this one here should actually be a yellow building, but I guess it could be another one in the back. So I guess this one could stay like that, because it'd be like on the corner. And I'm gonna give it a like a reddish pretty roof. Less gloomy and dark. And this part here, so it's gonna be yellow first of all on top, like the same yellow as here. And the wood for it's gonna be that reddish wood. Make that one white. There we go. So I would say like there's more light in the plaza, and then between the building it's less light, so. But I really need to get a compass and look at the um, lighting and where it's gonna go. This is one of the things that I like really didn't think of when I started the comic. Then I'm gonna have to keep track of the sun, which way it's gonna be. Because even if you don't think about it, like you're still gonna see it and like confuse you. Like, wait, the shadows were in one way and now they're in another. Like, even if you don't pay attention to this stuff, like your brain's still gonna notice it and be confused. Like sometimes I will not like something about a scene and kind of only realize after rewatching it that there's some inconsistencies with the sunlight. And for those of you that do watch Game of Thrones, the TV show, I'm gonna give you an example. The scene where Drogon attacks the Lannister caravan, and you have before that sun that is kind of sun that is setting and is like hitting the backs of Jaime Lannister and Bronn and Dickon. They're on horses, and then when Drogon attacks, like the light is coming on the opposite side, and it's cloudy, and it's um, no longer sunset. It's like a couple of hours earlier. So what I think happened there was that they just ran out of time and filmed it at sunset, and it looks pretty, but whoever they put in charge to direct that sequence was kind of a goofball in my opinion, like the one that they sent to direct the sequence with Arya and Bravos, and she's like Wolverine, the infamous Wolverine scene where like she's indestructible. And I think that's just one of the cases, they have film directors directing different episodes, different sequences. It's not always the same person available, or negotiating the contract and the payment and everything doesn't go well, or they just don't have anyone better to hire, or the person was going for something and they weren't able to do their job perfectly. And you get small inconsistencies like this one, or bigger ones with Arya. And that's how it is. I try to avoid these situations, but I'm just one person, and I probably made a lot of mistakes. So if you guys ever do see inconsistencies like this, please let me know. I will do my best to correct them. So regardless like of what's gonna be, this is probably gonna be metal. It's probably gonna be wood. Probably gonna make it thicker. That thing I suspect is gonna be white. And I'm gonna close this here and give him gray hair to kind of give a clue as to why he's not actually gonna chase after them. Because he's actually pretty old and not in the mood to chase after some kids. That turns out they didn't even stole anything, so. But what Niels has done today is gonna have some consequences later on. I do try to always have consequences for the actions that the characters take. Of course, my issue is that I'm doing a story for kids, so it has to have a happy ending, right? You don't want to give kids a sad story. They're gonna find out about Lords of the Flies in 1984 from school, so a few more years of bliss is welcomed. So I kind of try and have like consequences for what's going to happen, and he is gonna get caught. He is gonna get into trouble. Look at British soldiers, 17th century. Let's see, buttons were white. This seems like a very impractical clothing. It's pretty, but it's impractical. Okay, let's see the satchel that's going over them. Like, I'm sure June thought of it from somewhere, but yeah, these are Canadians, but I know they had like the royalty had the purple sash. I'm not gonna give them purple, but I don't know what color to either. Let's see, Cambridge coat of arms. Like, what's their color? Okay, so I have a blue and I have yellow, so I can give them a yellow sash, I think. Like, yellow was a pretty easy color to make. So, like I said, I wasn't able to find what exactly was the uniform for the Cambridge Guards, but I imagine red and yellow were something that they would have used. And a lot of blue eyes, I guess, for British people. Green are a lot more rare, so I'm trying to kind of use it sparingly, not so much. A lot of brown and a lot of blues. Like if we have been in Scotland, I think there have been a lot more gray eyes. Green. Green. I meant to say green. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope the sound was okay. I'll check again. Here, thank you everybody. Okay, so yeah. Oh, hi June. Just closing the stream. The Darwin page. I didn't show you the Darwin page, did I? Do you want me to go over it now? Okay, thank you for reminding me. I was just about to close end stream. Good thing you reminded me because it's around the corner. It's 2nd of February, and in 2 weeks we're gonna have to post it. Yeah. Before I forget. Cause the weird thing is I dreamt I did this a few days ago and I'm like, no, it was a dream. I gotta remember to do this, talk to June about it. Okay, so, oops, go back. For Darwin Day, cause we did Valentine's two times already, so for those of you watching this horrible sketch, we're gonna do Darwin Day this year. And it's gonna be the girl from book 2, Evie, and she's gonna be dressed as a Dimetrodon, and I'm gonna show you what a Dimetrodon is right now. Dimetrodon. So that's like the ancestor of mammals. So it's the thing with the thing on top. That's Dimetrodon. So she's gonna be dressed up as Dimetrodon and is gonna have some balloons that are finches. Finches are those birds from Darwin's study. This is how they look. Niels is gonna be a hominid, a chimpanzee-like creature, and I wanted him, since it's not gonna be just a generic chimpanzee, I thought as a joke it would be Mr. Tiny from The Simpsons. He's a chimpanzee and he's on roller skates. Of course, no cigar for him, but he has the little hat on, and he has roller blades and a what do you call it? Bow tie. Mr. Tiny. Teeny. Okay. I'm gonna send you the link now if it's gonna load, so you have the reference image. Okay, do you hear another little wagon with a tortoise in it? Like how a tortoise butt. Somebody else is pulling on it, and tortoise, it's an homage to the Galapagos tortoise. So these guys, the Galapagos tortoise, so like, yeah, just the behind of it. And I mean, I guess it could be like not in a wagon, like maybe just draw it walking, because it could be like a robot, or a dog dressed up as the Galapagos tortoise or something like that. The idea is people in a parade celebrating Darwin's Day, and they are in Cambridge. And they're in a park and they're walking on a sidewalk here. Marie's gonna be in a fishing bowl and she's gonna be a mermaid. The theme is that for everybody's dressed up, the kids especially. They're dressed up as symbols from things related to Darwin and evolution, and you have most land animals came from fish. So Marie is gonna be a mermaid again. We're gonna keep this theme because she likes to be a mermaid. She likes pretending to be a mermaid. So you've drawn her as a mermaid before. Now she's gonna be in a bowl in a wagon, and she's gonna be pulled by Evie. This character over here is gonna be Erwin, dressed as Darwin himself, but he's gonna be like on those stilts. I'll call Sam stilts. So something like this. That's gonna be Erwin on stilts, but he's gonna be dressed up as Darwin. So bearded guy, top hat, the bowler hat. You see here he has it. A big bushy beard, some kind of suit, Edwardian, I think it was, something like that. The Edwardian era or Victorian, don't remember exactly. And he's gonna be on stilts. Okay, and I can like a little dog beagle balloon here by somebody else. Uh, Beagle dog. I'm forgetting at the moment, but I know his ship was named the Beagle, and I'm pretty sure Darwin had a dog that he loved and was a beagle or something like that. I'm not sure, but either way, balloon beagle, balloon finches, and balloon fish. And in the background, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be I'm gonna draw peas and trees and a whole big ship right in the background, and I'm gonna do that. All I need from you is the characters here up front. And of course this is gonna be Niels's dad, and he's just eating popcorn or something. He has like a cup of popcorn or something like that. He's not dressed in anything special, just give him nerdy future professor clothing, some sweater or something, and pants, and he's unshaved and he has glasses. Like kind of how he was drawn in the other pages. Let me see, where is Easter? Because he's in the background, so we're not gonna do much for his face. Like square glasses, the same ones. I'm not gonna do much for his shirt because I don't think I'll have room to put anything. But if I'll see if I have any room to put on his chest, like something like a shirt that has some symbol related to evolution. It's that, you know, the monkey that keeps walking and turns into a man. Somebody did a shirt with that. So yeah, maybe I might do that, but yeah, you don't have to do it. Like I'll figure out if there's anything left in the room to do that. So yeah, Marie, Evie from book 2. Niels is gonna be a monkey again. Erwin is disguised as Charles Darwin on stilts, and then you have his dad that kind of took the kids out and everybody, because he's a nice dad. He tries to make time for Niels. So yeah, that's gonna be it for Darwin's Darwin Day special page. Do you have any other questions for me, June? I don't know how long the lag is. Oh, thank you. No, it's okay. Perfect. Thank you, June. Thank you for everyone watching this, and see you next time. The next stream is gonna be Wednesday, and we're gonna do page 100 from our comic book Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. And this Sunday is gonna be page 99. And next week, we're gonna release two pages, 100 and 101, as a commemorative event for reaching 100 pages on the past stick and for our comic book. Thank you, everybody, and bye bye.